All right, so now we're ready to do our sales tax quick check. Okay. I gave these back, so you should have it. If you've been absent, I have left copies of this for you to get. I have copies of this for you, so you can ask if you ask the teacher for a copy. I say it that way just because if I wanted to use this in another year other than 2024, I may not have a sub on this day in 2025, but tomorrow is actually going to be a day where you do have a sub. So if you don't have a copy of this, not because you didn't get it back, but because you were absent, I have put all of the absent students' copies of everything in the white crate where I put all of my extra copies up under the whiteboard at the front of the room. It has your papers stapled together up there standing up. So if you want to go up and get them, yours is already up there ready for you. Everyone else should have this. So this was the quick check that we took after we did our quick little lesson on sales tax on Monday. I actually shot the video yesterday, and you have this in a video. You have me doing this in a video. I'm going to do the rest of these and post you a key. But this was the quick check, so I wanted to quickly go over this with you to review just that basic tax tip, that kind of thing, before we get into markups and markdowns. This is, I know that I don't know for sure. I'm pretty sure first and second period did not get this. You do need to get a copy of this from the sub, and I'm leaving directions for them too. But this is where we are right now. This is what we've done. Here's our map. We have our, I'm just going to constantly be revisiting this to try to drive this home. But we have our bridge map here. And tax, this is tax tips, commission. It's also fees. Remember, this side is dollar signs. This side's percents. These are equal ratios. We are creating a proportion. We're just doing it in this bridge map this way because it seems to be what really works well. This percent's going to be our percent. That's going to be this 100 is locked in. It is locked in. So it's written in permanent marker. It's not going anywhere. That 100 is that way. I did have some students ask, several, is that 100 always there? Yes, 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 and yes. So this is where we are right now. Okay. In a minute, we're going to be over here. But right now, that's where we are. So we're just doing that basic bridge map. A new TV that costs $1,200 with an 8% tax. How much tax will be paid? Here's my question. And we need to go ahead now and start identifying the question. What is it asking? It's asking for just the tax. So all that question's asking for is the tax. So if I come right here, I have $1,200. I need to know the tax. The percentage of tax is 8%. Somebody asked me the other day, why is it asking you for the tax if it gives you 8%? Well, it's given me the tax rate. This is the tax rate. That's another word that you can use there. And we've heard that word. We talked about unit rate. But this is the tax rate out of 100, percentage-wise. I want the dollar amount. It don't tell me anything if you tell me it's 8% tax. That does not tell me how much money is actually going to come right out of my pocket to pay that tax. I want to know this dollar amount. In the words, show me the money. Don't show me the percent. Show me the money. So that's what we're doing. We're showing the money here. We're going to show how much is 8% of 1,200. Okay? So X times 100 is 100X. 8 times 1,200 is 9,600. All right, I've already done this once, so I'm going to double check my math over here. All right, y'all, Mr. Beddington's going home finally, so bye, Mr. Beddington.
Bye.
He said bye. All right, so 100 divided by 100, and x equals $9.60. No, it does not. It equals $96. Okay, Mr. Beddington got my concentration broke. 9,600 divided by 100 is $96. $96. So the answer there is B. When we come over here, it tells you, notice over here on this, and most of your questions are not going to be broke up like this. They're going to be all in one question, but this is kind of that first day or two, just getting you used to it. This and this is all the same. That first sentence is the same. What's different now, is now it's asking, what is the total cost including tax? What is the total cost including tax? So now we've got to take, we don't have to do another bridge map. We just got to take this 1,200 right here and add, that's $1,200, and add the $96. Of course, you don't have to show that 0 when you don't have any change over there. But I wanted to make sure you recognize that. So A here, $12.96, is the actual cost total. Okay. A coffee, that costs $8 with a 10% tip. So it costs $8 with a 10% tip. I want to know how much. This should be tip. That should be tip. That word tax right there should be tip. I don't know, and I didn't. None of us typed this. We actually found this. Thought it was real good online, so we pulled it off, and that should be tip. How much tip will be paid? So it's, again, know the question. It's asking me for just the tip. X times 100 is 100x. 10 times 8 is 80. Divide both sides by 100. And x is going to equal 0.80, which is A. That is my tip. I'll come over here and look. This part of the question and this part are identical. What's different is what is the total cost. So now it's asking me to take the $8 that I paid plus the 80 cents. This is why I wanted you to see those decimals. So it's $8.80 total. Okay. And then we have a haircut at a local salon costs $60. Maria leaves a 20% tip and is charged an 8% tax. What would be the total cost of the haircut, including the tax and the tip? Now we're going to put it all together. I'm using all my new highlighters that I got. They're just amazing. I think they came from the Pop Socket. I'm going to go see if they've got more. What would the total cost of the haircut, including tax and tip? So what have we got to do? We got to find the tax and we got to find the tip. So let's first find the tax. Let's do our tax first. So we spent $60 and we're charged 8% tax. So 100 times x is 100x. 8 times 60 is 480. Divide both sides by 100. And x is going to equal $4.80 in tax. That's our tax. Now we want to do our tip. This is our tip, and we leave in a 20% tip. X times 100 is 100x. 20 times 60 is 1,200. Divide both sides by 100. And X is going to be $12. So we're going to give a $12 tip, which, to be honest with you, 20% is really the appropriate amount for a tip. So 20% is a good tip. Now we want the total. So we're going to take the $60. Then we're going to do our tax of $4.80 and our tip of $12. And we got $76.80. And there are no answer choices over here that work. And this is why we don't look at the answer choices before we work our math problems, because it will mess you up. And because Miss Bosworth, Miss Davies, or Miss Smith could have made a mistake. So we are not going to look at those answer choices because there's not a good one. There is no answer choice. I'm going to tell you. What happened was whoever put those answer choices on there didn't read the whole question. And if you didn't black yours out like mine, if you come back over here and look, let me see if I got it. Look right here. If all you figured was 20% or $60 with 20%, that $12 plus 60 is 72. I think they thought they stopped right here. They stopped right there and did not read the whole question. That is exactly what happened. Now, because none of the rest of these answer choices make any sense. They figured the tax of $4.80 because there it is. But they didn't put it all together. So, there you go. But we're just marking that out. And there is your quick check. And that is your review over the basic sales tax tips. And this actually will go with the lesson that we did yesterday on sales tax. I am going to transition now into talking about markups and markdowns, but I'm going to do that in another video. So this is the end of this one. Just going over this. And as you are watching the videos, as you are doing these things, if you have questions, put you some, write a place, do it down here. Put you a little spot down here. Questions. Questions for KB. And then start you a list. As you're doing this and going over this with me, as you're missing it, you're going to make you a list of all of the questions you have. I'm going to put you a note up here that says check with a pen. Check with a pen. Check with a pen. Of course, I'm saying it at the end, so that might not do us any good. All right, so we're going to keep moving forward. So I'll see you again in a minute.